Welcome to the Impactful Introvert Podcast. I'm your host, Seema Pateel, an introverted business coach and a mom of two. My genius shines in helping introverted women map out a simple and sustainable marketing strategy tailored to their goals and introverted personalities. Every week, I'll share with you how you can simplify your marketing so that it is sustainable. After all, you started your business to serve clients and make an impact, not to master marketing. So, let's jump right in. Today, I am here to talk to you about how to break the start stop cycle in your marketing. If you've been marketing for any length of time, you have experienced this. Like in my years in business, I've been through this cycle so many times and I know the impact it has. And I know that the negative impact it has, it doesn't just negatively impact the business, it also impacts our mindset. And that is why I thought this is an important one. And I would like to talk about it and help you gain awareness that you have this problem and it's okay to have this problem, help you gain awareness on what you can do, how to identify and what you can do. These are just a few things that I'm going to talk about. I do not want this to be really long, but before I get into it, like when I was trying to map out, I don't remember, I can't think of what to talk about until almost just a couple of hours before the call. I have no idea. Often, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I just know what I'm going to talk about is going to relate to what I'm trying to promote. So I am currently trying to promote my consistent clients intensive, which is a 30-day intensive where I help you create a client journey map so that you know exactly how to create a funnel and how to move your audience from one place to another in a way that it starts filtering all of the people who are not your ideal clients and keeps moving the ideal clients from one stage to another, so that in the end you have to do very less work to sell, and when you're selling actually it feels very much aligned. So creating that client journey map and then creating a promo plan and content strategy around moving your audience from one phase to another, so that you have consistent leads coming in, which results in consistent clients, because you're doing a pretty good job before even they get on a discovery call with you. So this is a 30-day intensive and I want you to master the art of creating content consistently, batch create as best as possible, so that you no longer have the excuse that I don't have time, I don't know what to write, I'm feeling bogged down, etc. And you can really focus on marketing and booking clients. And this is best suited for anyone who knows what their offer is, like what service they want to provide. Like, if you don't even know what service you want to provide and you think you're multi-skilled, then this is not the right thing for you. My 6-month container is best. However, if you know, okay, I want to sell. I want to be a WordPress developer, like I was. That's why that's the example. I want to be a WordPress developer, and I know coding really well. I know WordPress. It's the most comfortable thing for me to use. I just need to figure out how to sell it and how to figure out how to sell it to the best audience. I want to work with all creators, but I'm drawn to coaches. So that is who I want to focus right now. If you have this kind of clarity in your business, then this is the best way I can support you. This consistent clients intensive is the best way I can support you. Now, coming to how to break your start stop cycle. Now, if you're not clear what I'm talking about, like what is a start stop cycle, then if you've been in this energy where you're feeling enthusiastic, you have your content decided, you know what how you're going to sell, what you're going to write, etc., etc. And this happens, this energy stays for a few weeks and then it starts dwindling and you start being wobbly in your marketing. As a result, slowly there's a stop. You stop marketing altogether because something happened, you felt sick, or you just completely lost motivation or momentum, and you don't know what to do, and you decided, okay, I would like to take a break today, it's the weekend, and then the weekend grows long into a few days, and then you're thinking, oh my god, I took a break, how do I get back, what kind of content should I post now, what should I do now, what will people think of me? And with these thoughts, a few weeks have gone by, and then you start again. You start as if, like, you get the courage again, you have the motivation again, and you start as if nothing much has happened, and you start fresh. So that is the start stop cycle that I meant about in the title. Now, I've done this. Like I said, I've been in business for 5 years. I've done this multiple times because all of those thoughts were my own thoughts. And then I heard the same from people who I was coaching. So it was very weird. It was comforting. It was also encouraging to see that I was not the only one. I used to think I must be really bad at this marketing because I just can't seem to do it consistently. And it didn't help when I was going through those low phases in energy and momentum, etc., to have such a thought. But when I started working with people, when I started coaching, I started realizing I'm not the only one. This happens to everyone. And it made it a lot easier to realize I'm not the only one. It made it very easy to be kinder to myself. Like, it probably was a mix of things because I was working on accepting my flaws and not making it mean that I'm a bad person or an incapable person, etc. So I started, instead of focusing that I skipped a few days or I couldn't find it in myself to market for a few days, I started doing certain things, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Now, usually it would start off with, like, why I would start losing steam and momentum was things go in the beginning. It is like, okay, I just started, I shouldn't be expecting results, so there's it's easier to push myself, and I would push myself, and it would go on for a month, almost a month, and at 4 week mark you've been doing work for a while and you're not seeing the kind of results that such content is promising. uh, Coaches and other marketers are saying, just do this consistently, and I have been doing it consistently for 4 weeks. Why am I not seeing results that was promised? Why am I not booking calls? Why am I not getting followers? Why am I not seeing comments, etc., etc.? So not seeing the results that I expected out of the action, which was much higher than the action I was doing, which I couldn't make the connection. Like, I didn't know what consistency meant, because people here were saying, I got 4 clients from a post, and people were saying, my client followed the strategy and booked the first 5 clients in just 3 months. So I was like, okay, 3 months, I can do it. And at the end of 3 months, I didn't see the kind of results I wanted. And I didn't have support to help me understand what I was doing wrong, why I was not seeing results, but these other people were seeing results. So I was trying to do this all by myself. And it is discouraging because you're all by yourself, pushing and tugging along, and you lose momentum because you cannot always be your hype person and the person who's like your cheerleader, and the person who's doing the work, and the person who is trying to keep everything else, all the balls rolling in life and in business. And when you're putting in so much energy as an introvert, you feel drained, and it's hard after a certain time. That's how burnout starts. And if you don't take a break, you're going to feel burnt out. If you're going to push through it, you're going to feel burnt out. And hiring support is going to save you from so much pain and the consistent start stop cycles. So, not having accountability, not seeing enough results, all of those make it really hard to stay consistent. And that is where support, that is where a coach actually is the most helpful. Like, everybody assumes a coach is giving you a secret or secret spell that you can use and start seeing success in your marketing. Actually, that's not what is happening. A coach is helping you stay through the hard parts and keep reminding you. So, if you can do this yourself, you're amazing. Kudos to you. I admire you a lot. But if you are able to do that, I believe you need support. If the sooner you can accept that, not in the sense, I know, Seema, don't tell me, but I have. But when you really accept it, you will not say but, you will think about how I can get that support, if not the entire thing. Like, if you are like me, that I used to think I need to hire somebody for 6 months. And for a long time, that was what I was thinking. And then memberships were a new thing at that time. So I started looking into memberships, hoping that would help. But being an introvert, I couldn't make the most of it, but I got a lot of help through those memberships, and I really appreciate that. So stop telling yourself that this big thing is the only one. Figure out, stop saying the but, and think about how you can change the but into a more helpful thing. You need support. Where do you need support? What kind of support do you need? Where do you need accountability? Who else apart from a coach like me can give you support? Can help you stay accountable, can be your cheerleader. So think about it. So I want you to pay attention to your startup cycles. It's normal, but if you don't want it to be extended beyond, then you have to become aware of them or hire support. That's the easier path. Or you have to have a lot of self awareness about, okay, I seem to be in my start stop cycle and I should pay attention to it. And the reason you have to pay attention to it, because it keeps you feeling stuck. If you don't address it, it festers the feeling of being stuck, which is not a great place to be in, which is not a motivating place to be in. It's not going to help you in staying consistent. It's going to hinder in being consistent with your marketing. So be aware of it. It also creates this vicious cycle of doing the work and then not seeing results and feel having lack of confidence. So you're like going through the same thing. You have lack of confidence, so you're not going to do the work effectively. You're going to put an effort, like, I will push through this, and you lose steam. You'll not see results, and you'll lose steam. You'll not see results, and then you lack confidence, and then you have to push yourself through it. And this is a vicious cycle, because you listen to a great podcast episode and you feel motivated and you want to do something about it, but things take time. It takes time, and it takes time to build momentum. It takes time to create that sense of confidence and trust in your people. Because yes, when you don't show up, the great thing about social media is when you don't show up, people, your ideal clients, often don't have that it's not a capacity, they don't have that space to miss you per se. But because they things are constantly being presented to them based on what they like, based on the algorithm is intelligent. But when they don't see you enough number of times, you're lost. Out of sight is out of mind. And they don't think of you when it comes to your services. So it's also keeping your people from taking notice of you, remembering you, and thinking of you whenever they feel the need or desire to fix the problem that you solve. Like, as a WordPress developer, when a designer is thinking, oh my God, this is a beautiful design, but I'll have to give up on it because I don't know how to do these, create these elements. But if I was consistently visible to her, I was talking to her, I was watching her stories, I was engaging with her content, all of the things I can do on social media, if I was doing with her account, with her, and she was able to do that with my account, then she would think of me. I wish I had the money to hire Seema. And you know what that thought is going to do? There will come a point when she feels like, okay, this project is huge. And I think I will charge more and I'll hire Seema because I'm done trying to not build the designs that I love. And she'll message me and she'll want to get on a call with me. And that is the kind of lead generation that all of us, especially the introverts, but all business owners want their content to draw the right people in. So if you're staying consistent, you're making it easy to choose you as a person to even think of when your people face the problem that you solve. So what do you do? Now coming to the point, there were a few things that I was doing when I started getting more aware. One of them was to be more aware of what I'm doing instead of being in a, what do you call, like a zombie state, continuing to live in a zombie state of mind. I decided I was going to stay more focused, stay more aware, and journaling was my way of staying more aware. I used to journal, and when I write, I am staying more focused. I am more aware of what I'm doing. I would write about the three things I was grateful for the previous day, three things that I wanted to change from yesterday, something like that, and three fears I wanted to overcome over the week. Or the goal was to overcome these fears. It didn't matter how long it took. Like in the beginning, I started with in this week, and not every fear is so small that it takes just a week. So depending on what I was aiming at, so it was three things I was grateful for, three things three fears I wanted to overcome, and three things I wanted to change in how I handle things. So, in how I want it to be, something more like the future self, like if I was, how I would show up, embodiment, and all of those. It was like a couple of years ago at least. So I don't journal like that anymore, so I don't remember. But it was basically a self awareness exercise, and what I started noticing was before I start taking a break, I would find this really fun or interesting show to binge on. And I would start it and I wouldn't be able to stop watching. And it would start over a weekend, and I would tell myself, yes, I'm taking a break. I don't feel like thinking. I don't feel like planning. I don't feel like doing things. So I need a break. I deserve a break. And I would start watching, and it would continue. It would be until the entire season ended. And if it was a 8-9 season, think you can imagine it would go on for weeks. So I didn't notice my behavior until I started being aware. And what did I do? What did I not do? What did I want to do better? When I started writing those things, I realized that my work felt hard, and this was much easier because people are having problems in these shows and they're seeing the solution come. So it was a dopamine hit that I was lacking from my marketing. My marketing wasn't giving me any dopamine. So I was having a hard time staying with it. And I was making myself really wrong after realizing that I'm watching a show at work time. I am not showing up consistently, and I've purchased these courses and not putting them to good use, etc., etc. So I was making myself wrong on so many levels. So that was also affecting how I, like, what I would do the next day. Instead of feeling motivated, I would feel demotivated and not do anything again. So awareness is the very first thing that you need to have so that you can stop the cycle of start stop. But more than that, what helped was understanding perfect execution is not necessary. As long as I was executing, even after taking a break, I would still see results, having that belief. And so, even if I did take a few days or weeks off, I continue to sell the same thing that I was trying to sell, rather than, or implement, continue the same strategy. honestly. Like I used to think, okay, my 5-day challenge didn't work. It was a 4-week promo period. That is what I was doing because that felt easy. I had this amazing challenge, amazing content, and nobody showed up or nobody bought. And that was disheartening. That was very disheartening. After that, getting into marketing was very hard. So all I had to do was run the challenge, but instead I made myself wrong in that my offer was wrong. My offer was wrong. That's why nobody showed up. Nobody bought. So I started trying to change strategies, trying to change my offer, etc. Lots of changes. Once I realized none of that is the problem, it's my belief that it's going to work. I lacked belief that people will come after a couple of attempts. My belief that it's going to work and me not stopping at any cost. Like I'll just keep going. It doesn't matter. If it's like if you're running in a race and you find yourself trip and fall, you have a choice. You either get up and continue to run, whether you win or lose is different. Or you say, okay, I fell, I'm out of the race. So I used to be the second person. And when I stopped being the second person, when I said, okay, I'll get up, I'll dust myself off, and I'll start running again. It hurts, okay, I'll run slower. I don't have to win this race, I just have to reach the finish line. I'll run slower, but I'll run. Once I started having that mentality, the start stop cycle, the gaps started reducing. It didn't vanish. For honestly, for me, nothing is instant. It's there, but it's so freaky that it scares me. It scares me, and I don't stay consistent with it. So for me, it works best when it's slow. So the gap between my start stop cycles started reducing. I wasn't sitting and binging through entire 10 seasons of Supernatural, 15 seasons of Supernatural. So I started getting a tighter handle at me. It would be the weekend break where I would binge and get it out of my system. I would just not work. If it didn't work, I have this fear. It's not a fear. That's how I'm wired. If I take a break from work, from thinking about work, it takes quite some time for me to get into the zone. So that is why I don't take breaks. And weekends are the time when I have the most time. So I had to take these breaks, not every weekend, but I take breaks every few weeks. Over the weekend, I will just do nothing. Sometimes, if it is an entire week, that is what I will do. I take the break I need and I get back into the swing just as if I didn't really take a break. And that has been so helpful in keeping my mindset strong, in managing my expectations with the results, etc., etc. So I want you to understand that the best way to not to break the start stop cycle is to not believe that you stopped, you just paused. Like you were in the middle of an important thing and someone said, hi, can you help me with this? So you looked at them, I'm sorry, right now I'm busy, and you continue to work. It's that pause, it's that quick pause. When you focus on it like that, instead of you dropped your work and you went to the person to help, so you can't get back into work, your time is wasted, and so many other things, it becomes a lot easier.
There you have it. By working on your mindset is how you get out of the marketing start stop cycle. If you have any questions, any doubts, or you need some extra tips, then don't hesitate to send me a message on Instagram. I'm happy to share my tried and trusted techniques with you and help you get out of this struggle bus. So I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Impactful Introvert Podcast. If you want to share your views, opinions, or ask me questions, then please send me a message on Instagram. My handle is Seema Pateel. See you in the next one.